Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin from Florals.com and today I have a multi-photo layout process video for you all. I'm using another one of my page kits. This was a 3-page page kit, but I do end up pulling in some scraps from my previous page kits, which you see here. And I'm just going to use a variety of those to layer upon my photos. There's these 3 photos and they're all of like the same monument, but they do have some vast difference in the coloring because one side was shaded from the sun than the other side. So the top is going to be in the middle or to the right. I can't remember where I end up putting it. But the 3 are going to go in this horizontal fashion. And this is what I tend to do with 3 portrait style photos. I make them in this sort of layout. And this first part is sped up pretty fast just because it's a lot of gluing down items that you guys didn't need to watch the full length of. So I started off with that postage stamp piece, and I'm going to make that the main layer behind my photos to kind of make it a little more fun and bring in those extra colors. And then I took the yellow diagonal and I'll cut that into 2 small strips and put one towards the bottom and one at the top. And then I also used a piece of washi tape that was approximately 12 inches, and it's a minty green with a copper foil on it, which I thought matched the bronze parts of the memorial pretty well. So this layout turns out a little bit interesting. Like I said, this is my traditional style when I have 3 portrait photos, is to put them in a straight line, as most people do. I do end up layering a lot of paper behind them. I know I've been trying to use up more of my paper, and I used to love this look, so I'm kind of going back to it quite a bit. So I'm pulling in colors from that background postage paper that has the yellows. It's got some light oranges, some yellows, like I said, and then pinks, even some like reds. I don't go for the reds on this one, but some of the patterns do have a little tint of red in it, which I think helps bring it together. But I'm focusing on those mint colors and then the yellows and pinks as the layering elements behind my photos. And then I also throw in some teal because there are some darker like browns and such in the background of that postage stamp paper. And then the very background of this layout, the whole 12 by 12 piece, is actually like a watercolored light pink, and that is from the Simple Stories Life in Color collection, as well as the yellow diagonal stripe. And then the postage stripe, or the postage collage paper, is from the, which one is that? I think it must be the Recollections Fly Me Away paper pad. Here's where I start to build out a cluster. Now I realize I'm going to run out of room for a title or for journaling, so I figured in the top left I need to start balancing out these bottom right elements. So what I do is tuck a 3/4 doily at the top and then maybe like a third of a doily on top of that other photo just to bring in that second doily. I could have put it at the bottom, but I like that these doilies were kind of close together. I start looking at chipboard and I start looking at all sorts of elements, and while those chipboard do match color-wise, I just didn't like the feeling of them for this layout. And I was telling you guys a little bit of this earlier, but this is a marker, a milestone marker. It's called the 0, I think the 0 point. I think that's what the darkest photo says. But essentially it's the starting point of the first transcontinental convoy. So I don't know, it's just one of those monuments we stumbled upon in DC, and there's a ton of those. If you guys haven't been to DC, it's riddled with monuments and plaques to read about things that happened there, and it's a really great place. And I just thought this one was pretty. This is also near the site of where the National Christmas Tree goes during Christmas time, which we never got to see, unfortunately. But maybe one day we'll get to visit during winter and I'll be able to see it. But that's sort of where this is, if you guys know where that is. Other than that, I don't remember anything about where this is. I know you can see the White House from where this is, but again, I'm not sure where it is. I know it's somewhere on the mall, but that's all I have to offer for you guys in terms of location. But I'm sure if you Googled it, you'd be able to find it quite easily. Up in the top left, I'm starting to finally build out that cluster. I used a label from We Are Memory Keepers. And again, you guys have seen these supplies over and over again this month because I am working with my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit all month long, which is all of these DC page kits. And if you guys are interested in more page kits, let me know down below. I know several of you have said you are definitely interested in me continuing to do page kits in different ways and just kind of experimenting with that. So definitely let me know what you guys like to see. Here I'm pulling out some Webster's Pages items. There was one little banner that said Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday abbreviations, so I put that at the top left for more of that light pink. And then there was one that said The Good Life, which is a little tag, and I put that in the bottom right. So you'll see I'm kind of creating a diagonal here. So I'm going to have a cluster on the top left, one at the bottom right, and then I have that doily on top of the right photo to kind of help bring your eye around to similar items. So So far I'm looking for something with a little bit more dimension, so puffy stickers or chipboard. I do come across these old Pretty Little Studio mint heart stickers, which I really should have included originally in the kit. They were not. They're actually in an older kit that's next to me. That's like from a couple months ago. I just kept that How to Kill a Kit with Style kit together because it was so beautiful, and I wanted to work with it again. So you might guys see that one come back again, and maybe I'll just make it into page kits instead. But this was actually included in my kit, and this is a Scraptastic stamp set. I got these as a rack that I had received from a Scrappy Facebook group, and I'm going to be using this stamp here, which is actually a little compass. I know it goes in and out of focus because of my hands moving so fast, but it says Today's Adventure, and it's a little compass, which I think is perfect because the compass rose is in the right photo on top of the monument. So I stamped that with VersaFine black ink on that scrap blue paper from my scrap pile from the kits. And instead of getting a paper punch out, I just decided to cut it out by hand and just make it sort of a circle. And then what I do is put some glue on the back and pop that down. And I tuck the heart back on top of it so it kind of looks more cohesive instead of putting it on top of the heart. And then this little bubble frame I've been trying to use for so long. It's from Pink Paisley's C'est La Vie collection, and I think it's C'est La Vie. And I've been trying to use its little speech bubble, but I don't like speech bubbles generally, so I just used it as a square itself and kind of just block that in. And since the heart kind of got put to the side, it's now going to go over the puffy sticker that I just put down, so I put some foam on the back of the heart, and that works out better for it to fit around the puffy sticker. And then we have some dimension going on like I wanted. And then I continue that idea with some dimension later on as well, which you'll see. But I figured I should keep going on this stamping craze that I'm doing. And I pull out these roller stamps. I go with the Dear Lizzie one, which is just the easiest one for me to use. I like the phrases on a lot better. I don't like stamping the date a lot, and I don't know the date usually off the top of my head. So I stamp it once at the top and once at the bottom. And the top one actually does smudge, so I do cover it up, but you'll see how I do that later. You just saw me shaking some Heidi Swapp Color Shine, which is actually in the shade Butter. And if you guys didn't know from the title of this video, there is a mixed media mishap, which you will see shortly. But now I'm going to add some enamel dots, which also gives me that depth and texture that I'm looking for. I use Echo Park enamel dots, Whimsy Stamps enamel dots, and then Freckled Fawn enamel dots. So the yellows and teals really helped bring that out. And then I use some of these word stickers from Amy Tangerine. I'm not sure which color I ended up going with. The yellow definitely doesn't match the bold stripe, but it does match the postage stamps in the background there. So I end up going with the yellows instead of the blues, and then I move my stuff out of my way to do some Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and then I realize I want to do my title before I add the color shine. So I pull out these Webster's Pages. I can't remember what the collection is now that I put it off screen, but I just use the white alphabet that's on here and spell out Milestone because it's a milestone marker, and I thought that was kind of an interesting title. Not super interesting, but better than like Best Day Ever or something cool. I added some washi tape here as well. One's a polka dot mint color, and one is going to be the pink with copper foiling. And those are kind of fun. I don't usually do like free-floating titles, so I wanted something there to kind of help that. And then I'm just going to glue those down quickly, and you guys don't have to watch that, but I pretend I glue them all down straight because they're not, but pretend that they are. And once those are done and glued down straight, I end up adding a couple more enamel dots just to finish off this washi tape that I just put down, and that kind of helps bring the cluster out towards the photos. It kind of brings your eye down towards the bottom right, which I think helps a lot. But after the enamel dots are down and everything's ready, I am going to jump in with the Heidi Swapp Color Shine and finish this off. So the first bit of Heidi Swapp Color Shine goes well, but I need to move my paper, so I set my Color Shine aside and grab my little wash mitt here, and as I wipe off my surface, the dreaded thing falls over, and I did not close it. Luckily, yellow is not one of my favorite colors to use for Heidi Swapp Color Shine. I did lose quite a bit of it, and I'll clean that off camera because that's just so sad. But I do wipe it up. And of course, you could use this on like a junk journal or something, but I was just rushed to make this video before work. But here's the final product. I did finish the rest of the Heidi Swapp Color Shine drips off camera because now I'm terrified to do it on camera, but you know, things happen, messes happen. It's nice to have a craft mat whenever you're doing that, and I'm glad mine was there when I needed it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you're not already, because I have more layouts to share with you using my page kits. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.